Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Lit Up Lightworker Podcast, bringing you fun and soulful interviews with spiritual teachers with the aim of tuning you in and lighting you up. You can access all episodes of the podcast on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, and TuneIn. And be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel for more videos and interviews all around spirituality and wellness. My name is George Lizos. I'm a spiritual teacher, intuitive, the co-creator of Elemental Healing, the author of Be the Guru and the #1 best-selling Lightworkers Gotta Work. And today I am thrilled to have here with me Jordan Bone. Aged 15, Jordan was a happy-go-lucky girl having fun with friends and loving life. In one fateful moment, everything changed. A car accident left her paralyzed from the chest down and shocked her into deep depression. She was on the brink of giving up, but gradually Jordan realized there is hope beyond utter devastation and life beyond disability. Painstakingly relearning how to apply her beloved makeup, Jordan began to rebuild her sense of self and empowerment. Her body may have been broken, but her spirit was not. She's now a successful beauty blogger and YouTuber, and her journey of positivity inspires millions around the world. Jordan, welcome to the Lit Up Lightworker Podcast.
Hi.
It is so wonderful to have you here, and thank you so much for being so open about sharing your story and your journey of empowerment. We met like a couple of weeks ago, maybe like last week actually, when we did I guided you through a past life regression, and as soon as I scrolled through your Instagram and through your YouTube videos and watched some of your content, I was just amazed at how much you own your story and you share your story, and you are so brutally honest with your audience and sharing raw and bluntly and very honestly your struggles and what you're learning along the way and the different processes and spiritual modalities that you're trying and how you are every day empowering yourself. It is such a powerful message, and I'm so glad that you're here with us to share this story. So I want to start. Of course, I've read like a snippet of your story, but I want to hear from your perspective. What was your journey of coming into the place you're in right now, and therefore discovering your spirituality as well?
Okay, so like you said, when I was 15 years old, I had a car accident. I wasn't someone who got in cars all the time. It was a real one-off thing. It was really strange. And when I look back now, it was kind of like, it feels like it was all kind of planned to then have this bigger purpose in life. So that day I got into a car with a newly qualified driver, and he was kind of speeding a little bit, and he ended up going through a puddle because the weather had been real crazy that day. It had been rainy, windy, sunny, and all over again. It wasn't a great day for driving, at least. And he went through a puddle and he skidded, and the whole car went into a ditch and crashed upside down. I was knocked unconscious. I thought my life was going to end. I reached my friend's hand as the car was like sliding across the road, and I said, like, we sort of like screamed at the same time, and I thought, that's it, my life is over. When I was in the ditch, I woke up and I was conscious, but everyone else was out of the car, and I was sat in the car upside down, hanging from my seatbelt and hanging on to dear life. I then felt like I was slipping away, and in that moment I could see a bright white light, and I said, no, I don't want to die. I'm 15 years old. I've got so much to do. And I still remember saying it like it was yesterday, because it felt like a massive life purpose kind of question to myself, an answer to myself that no, I don't want to live or die. Like, I don't want to die. Sorry, I want to live, and I need to stay on earth to do something big. I need to help someone. It felt like a massive decision, but it was an easy decision, but it felt like I had a decision. It felt like if I wanted to leave, I could, but I wanted to stay. So I tried to keep myself conscious. I was singing to myself, and I was singing really quietly, but to me, it was like my voice was always there. I was always like keeping my voice present and keeping myself present by using my voice. And I think that is a real big thing what I do now. I use my voice to be present and to share my story and to inspire others, hopefully. So when I was taken out of the car eventually after a long time, and obviously almost slipping away, away from this planet, I was then taken to hospital, and I had to lay in bed for absolutely ages before they could even operate on me. And it was a real test, like a real test in time, because it really showed me the value of patience and how being patient is very, it's a hard thing for us humans to deal with, but it proved to me that we can deal with anything. We can deal with pain, we can deal with like hard times, we can do it. It's just, it's a challenge, and it's a test, and a lesson is always learned within that time. So yeah, I was in hospital for about 6 months, away from home, away from my friends, away from everything. And the last time I saw anybody, was in my hometown. It was like I was walking, and then I went back 6 months later, and I was now in a wheelchair. And to me, I was like, well, I'm just sat down. But there was so much more to it than that. I had my independence taken away. I was unable to do daily tasks myself, which I didn't realise would be the case, because in all honesty, I didn't know much about spinal injuries, and I doubt many people do if they haven't experienced, like, been around someone who has one, or knows much about it. I was ignorant, and I didn't understand, and it was all a learning curve for myself and my family to now have this disability that I wasn't born with. It was just given to me at 15 years old, and that independence that I gained in those 15 years had then suddenly been taken away, and it was like starting from scratch. I always feel like I have had two lives, like as Jordan. So I know we have past lives, but I feel like I've already had two lives in this one life. It's really strange. So after a couple of years, I got quite depressed, and I got into a real low place, because I felt that I couldn't achieve my dreams anymore. I felt that I wouldn't be able to be this driven, ambitious person that I'd always hoped. I thought, who would hire me to have a great career? Who would want to be my friend? Because I did lose a lot of friends at the time. Who would want to be my partner? I felt of all these things that I couldn't do, but I thought what I could do. And I was forgetting about the things that I was doing anyway, because I was still doing things, but I didn't realize I was putting myself down a lot, because I felt like my life was no longer worth living. But it's quite funny, because although I thought my life wasn't worth living, in that moment when I was slipping away, I wanted to live, and I would have done anything to live.
Yes.
And I got to
I want to talk about this point, because it is so powerful. You said you had a decision. It was a clear decision that showed up, and you saw a white light. What do you think the white light was?
The white light, it felt like I could have left this body and gone somewhere else. I don't know where it was to, but it was like this beautiful, serene white light. It was just peaceful, and it wasn't scary to go there, but I was like, no, I'm not ready. I've got things to do here now, like I've got things to do here. I cannot go yet. But it wasn't like the only reason I was scared is because I didn't want to leave. But it wasn't scary. It was like, you can come this way if you wish. But I was like, no, I've still got things to do.
It is that usually story you hear with like out of body experiences, when people have left and come back, they go through this tunnel of white light, and it feels so good, and then they're given a decision: do you want to stay or do you want to leave? And it feels amazing, but it feels like your purpose in this lifetime had to do with you staying and then going through the aftermath of that. And like I can't stop but think about the past life regression we did, because you shared it like publicly in your video, so I'm going to talk about it. So you, in that past lifetime, you were not given the choice to live, that your life was taken away from you, and it felt like it reinforced the idea that in this lifetime you came to both live your life and your past life self's life, and just make it so powerful. And it's just a powerful lesson to know that we have choices. Like even in the darkest of times, we have a choice, and it's just up to us to want it and take that choice.
Absolutely. I think when you feel like you've hit rock bottom, the positive in that is that there's light, and that it can't get any worse. All you can see is every day is a stepping stone to get into a better place and to feel great and to feel positive. You're one step closer to having a better life again. There's never, to be really low, there's always still a positive in that. And I've seen the darkness. I found, like, I was in the darkest place. I didn't want to be here anymore. And for the fact that I could turn it around, I know everyone can. And I know that we all have a purpose. We are all here for a reason. Everyone is worthy, and no one should ever have to feel that they're not. And that's one of my messages, because I just feel so powerfully about that, because, you know, being here is so rare anyway. We're lucky, and we've been chosen, and we are supposed to be here. We have so many reasons. We have so much to give, and each one of us has something different.
Oh, 100%. And I love that what you said about even at the lowest of times, we have this light. And I know this from my own journey as well. I have a different kind of story, in the sense that I wanted to take my own life when I was 15 years old. Actually, was it 15? I think it was 15 years old. That's because I grew up gay, and I got bullied a lot, and I couldn't accept it. And I reached this low moment when I was ready to take my own life. And just before I did it, I saw that kind of light as well. And it was that choice that had always been available to me, but I couldn't see it, which was, you can like fuck what society thinks, fuck what people think, and just learn to love yourself. So it's funny how in those darker moments, and when we finally surrender and don't have any more resistance, like the light and the answer we've been asking for just shows up, and it's ready for us to take. So I want to go back to your story. So we're at the point where right afterwards you had to relearn how to experience yourself, and you got very depressed.
Yes.
How did you come out of it?
It was really random, actually, and everything's divine, isn't it? It's amazing what comes into your life. I was just on YouTube, and it's kind of funny that it was from YouTube that my life then turned around again, because then I ended up being on YouTube. So I was looking at randomly UFO videos, and the next video that came on, like it was just I think it was the same girl. She'd done a video about UFOs, and then she'd done a video about guided meditation. And I was like, what is this? What is guided meditation? I'm going to watch it. And I just felt cool to watch it. So I watched it. I was like, wow, this is actually really interesting. And then I just kept typing in guided meditation. I found more. And I was like, oh, okay, this is interesting. So I kept trying them. And I remember coming home, because at the time I was at university. And I remember coming home and doing it at home. And I said to Mum, something has now changed. I felt okay. And I was like, I think I want to come off antidepressants, because I had been prescribed antidepressants, which, you know, I'm no longer on. And after guided meditation, I've not been on them since. So that was quite, you know, a big thing. So yeah, guided meditation kind of took me out of the darkness and made me realize my worth. It made me realize that we're all beautiful. It made me realize how beautiful the world is, and how, like I said, rare it is to be alive, and just the beauty of everything, that there's reason for everything, and that we can embrace our lives no matter what has happened. It just made me really reevaluate everything. And it even made me reevaluate the fact that I was at uni. I left my course because my heart wasn't in it. I started to learn about light work, and I started to learn about following your heart, and how important it is to follow your heart and your intuition. So I left, and yeah, the rest was kind of like everything kind of aligned. And I feel like in between, I've always shared positivity and motivation within my YouTube channel. But I did a lot of beauty a few years ago. But I feel like I've come full circle, and I've come back to my real spiritual roots. And I really want to spread the message of spirituality, and how it's really life-changing, and that it's all within us, and that we're all these beautiful beings that should just embrace ourselves.
That's a powerful testimonial for meditation, like that it helped you like achieve so much. And I can say from my story as well, like meditation was the #1 tool I used. So what do you think it is about meditation that helped you like get off antidepressants and just see the joy in life?
I think for me, I'm better with the guided meditations.
Okay.
It was doing guided meditations. I think it was listening to someone's voice, and someone telling me, you know, when you say, if like you're going to like walking down a path to like a beach or a garden or somewhere beautiful, kind of made me get out of my head, and made me come back down to my heart center, and made me realize who I really am. I'm not my ego. It took my ego away for a moment, even for a moment. And, you know, the more you do it, the better you get at it. I think a lot of people worry that they're not going to be able to do it straight away. And, you know, we're not going to be great straight away, but that's like that with anything. But if you keep doing it every day and keep trying, you're going to improve and you will see differences in your life. It just really does get you out of that ego and just brings you back to your heart. And I think that's important. And breathing is essential to life. However, a lot of us do not even know how to breathe properly and how to center ourselves. You know, if we're feeling a bit worried, we'll breathe like really quickly and rapidly. But if we like stop a minute and just take time to take a few deep breaths, we can settle our mind and settle our whole body. So breathing is something we all know how to do, and something so simple, yet a lot of us do not know how to use it in a productive and effective way for ourselves.
I always tell people that the most powerful tools are the easiest ones, because like in the new age and spiritual communities, we have all these bells and whistles. We have the mantras and the mudras and the complicated meditations and techniques and energy healing, and then like past life regression. And then we forget that like we have easier tools we can use that are equally, if not more powerful, like simply like breathing correctly or meditating. And I mean, look what it can do for us. Like it can completely transform our lives. Now, I was like looking through your YouTube channel, and I noticed a video you did where it was your first video back after having not posting for a few months, and it's called My Spiritual Transformation, something like that. What's changed? Because it feels like you have a different energy from the energy you had a few years ago. What has been the shift, and what is a new journey for you right now?
It's so funny because last year I felt a little bit lost, but not in I wasn't like down or anything, but I felt lost in my career. I felt like I had so much more to give than just showing people how to put makeup on. I felt like I had so much more I was like, what can I do? What is my purpose now? And literally, it was just like a switch. It was like, wow, Jordan, get back to your roots. You started with positivity videos. You are here for a reason. Remember that. You need to start being your true self again. So that was always my true self. I've always been Jordan, and I've never like created a character for online. I've always just been myself. I never script anything. It's all just straight from my heart. But I think in the last few years, I think I've really learned to love me. And especially since last year, I feel like all these years, all these little things have helped me. But then last year I had a bit of a wake up call. And even probably the past couple of months, I have just learned to love myself fully and be proud of myself. And we all need to do that, because honestly, we are with us for a long time. We need to learn to be our best friend and love who we are, because when we are in that energy where we just love who we are, then we're going to attract all the good things to us. And there's nothing, you know, we're all imperfectly perfect. We all, like I said, have something to offer, and we are just pure love, and we just need to start being kinder to ourselves. And I think that's the thing. I've started to be kind to myself, because, you know, if we can't be kind to ourselves, we can be kind to our friends, but sometimes it's hard to be kind to yourself like you are to your friend. So just treat yourself like a friend, because I think that is what has changed. I know my worth.
And what are some like tools that we can use, that like the listeners right now can use to like love themselves more? Because sometimes we hear, oh, self-love, we think bubbles and like having bubble baths and taking time off. What are your go-to tools basically to love yourself and to be kinder to yourself?
I think setting boundaries is major. Making sure that you are surrounded by people that are positive and, you know, who have your best interests at heart. Don't just have people in your life just for the sake of it. And set those boundaries. If you don't want to do something, say no. And if you want to do something, do it. Like, do what you want to do. You need to push boundaries. Like, if you have this dream, go for it. What is stopping you? So I think that helps with loving yourself, because you need to just express yourself and just be true to who you are. Don't have negative energy around you. I also think that doing stuff for you, looking after your body, and just taking care of yourself in terms of, like, say if you enjoy having your hair done, have your hair done. Don't worry if people think, oh, you're vain, or, you know, think that's not spiritual to do that. Be yourself. That is so important. And I think when you're yourself, more magic happens. So just do things that actually make you feel good, because when you feel good, good keeps happening. So self-love is just what you think is self-love. You know, what makes you happy, what enhances your life. And I do think doing all the practice, like spiritual practices such as meditation, helps tremendously. And don't follow accounts online that make you feel bad. Follow high vibe creators, and it just literally raises your energy.
It's all about knowing who we are, therefore, and just making all the active changes around us, like setting boundaries and taking care of ourselves to ensure that who we are is taken care of 100%.
Definitely. We can only be the best version of ourselves if we look after ourselves. And it's not, I think sometimes people think it's selfish to love yourself, but I think you're being selfish if you don't, because you cannot serve other people and be the better friend or the better partner if you are putting yourself down all the time. If you love yourself and you're vibrant and happy, you can do so much more for other people as well.
Jordan, what is your purpose moving forward?
My purpose moving forward is to keep spreading positivity, to share my story, to show that I can achieve whatever I set myself to achieve. And I want others to realize that, because there's so much, I feel like there's so much pressure for people sometimes to be a certain way, but I'm just saying, do your way. Like the easy route may not always be the way. Find your own route. And I want people to understand that not everything's easy, but it's worth it.
Amen to that. Thank you so much for sharing your story with us and sharing all these powerful, easy but powerful tools that we can all use to like create some magic in our lives and follow our purpose and live our dreams. Where can people get in touch with you?
They can follow me on Instagram. It's at jbone89.
And of course, YouTube, which you do some amazing YouTube videos, and they're all getting more spiritual now. People can go check out the video you did as well for our past life regression. It's such a fascinating story. Thank you so much for joining us, Jordan. Wishing you a lovely rest of your day.
Thank you.